Good evening, everyone. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday and hope you had a great week. And hope my hair is going to cooperate because it's a big mess right now. Yeah. Oh, well. This is the real me. So no filters, no editing. So let's see. Tonight, I wasn't formally planning on doing a live session. However, um, I made a claim with the US Postal Service, and well, two very lovely ladies actually helped me find these two packages. They were, in fact, received, but they were never given to me for whatever reason, and I don't want to get into that here. But we got two more packages, and these were two. Well, one of them I actually didn't realize was missing until I actually backtracked all the what do you call tracking numbers. Yeah, I actually backtracked all the tracking numbers, and then I realized this package was not received. One of them I did know about, or we did know about it because of the fact that the person actually told me that, hey, you didn't receive my package yet. So that's where I actually approached these two ladies at the US Postal Service. So thank you, Samantha, and thank you, Diana, for that. Those are the two ladies that helped me. And I got to talk to them about our channel. So, so we're going to be doing another unpackaging or unboxing, however you want to say it, just so that I can recognize these two people and say that yes, their packages were kind of mixed up in the mail, but I did, in fact, receive them. So here we go. But let's do our quick usual shout outs to see who is here. And yes, I was actually here in the chat earlier before I went on live, and there were already people waiting and chatting. So I just joined in with it. So let's do our formal hellos. Hello, Miss Kim. And we got Suzanne Taylor here. Linda Faust. Hello, Linda. And we have Miss Sandy. How you doing, girl? Let's see. We have Christy Smith here, and she is hoping. Well, she was hoping for a live tonight, so your wish is granted. Hoping to see that my package arrived. I don't have the tracking number. Well, Christy, hang on. Let's see who else is checking in. We have Miss Teresa here. Hello, Teresa. We got Mary G. Hello, hello. And Rose Clearwaters from South Oregon. Well, hello, Rose. And let's see, Miss Joanna is here. Hello, lots of people are already here. Yep. We were already chatting before the live started. Oh, it just skipped on me again. We got Miss Mary Jane Ellinger. Hello, hello. And we got Steve Norma Coffin. Hello from San Marcos, California. And Joanne says, I'm still awake. It's 10 p.m. here in Massachusetts. First, I've been sewing up a storm. Hopefully not a snowstorm. Okay. Although I don't mind the snowball effect. And we got Diane Wilson. Hello, Diane. Hello, our in-house Tula Pink expert. That's Carissa Renninger. I officially gave her that title a couple lives ago. We got Yvonne Davidson from Tennessee. Hello, Yvonne. Okay, and Donna Hoskins. Hey, hey, hey. We have Diane Watson here saying, hey, from Missouri, it's 37 degrees. Ooh. You know, it's actually been kind of warming up. Like, I think now it's in the 50s. Like last week was crazy. It was down to 40 degrees, but now it's a little bit warmer. But yeah, 50 degrees is still cold for us here out in the desert. And Christy says, we are expecting more snow tonight and tomorrow in Michigan. It's just too cold for my liking. We'll send it this way, Christy. Well, stay warm too, by the way. Hello, Miss Linda Fugate. There was ice in my bird bath here in Vegas yesterday morning. Time to take the solar pump out. Wow, that cold, huh? I've been noticing when you look at the mountain ranges here that some of them, well, last week, pretty much all of them had snow caps, but some of them still got snow caps. It's been, again, it's been kind of warming up, but not by much. Joanne Reed is here. Hello, hello. And Charlotte de Roches. Hello, Charlotte. And made by Misty. Hi, Misty. Okay, so again, hello, Cindy Milheim. Suzanne Taylor asking, how are you feeling, Eric? I am actually feeling much better. Thank you. I still kind of got a lingering cough a little bit. There's still some buildup that my lungs is kind of trying to get rid of, but at least I'm not breaking out in like I don't have a temperature anymore. Thank goodness. And I'm feeling a lot better. I've been drinking a lot of ginger tea, which has been helping tremendously, even though it tastes like, well, it tastes like dirt, quite honestly, but it's been clearing up a lot of things. So from what I've read in some of the holistic medicinal journals, ginger, it's kind of a weird thing because it's packed with sugar, but it doesn't taste sweet, but it's also very good for diabetics. Ironic, I know. And I'm like, really? And so I said, okay, let's just try this ginger tea. I'm not putting it with honey or lemon. It's just straight ground up and boiled ginger. So tastes like dirt, but works like a charm. Okay, Chris. Take a bow. Take a bow, girl. Hey, Miss Sue. Glad to see you here. Okay, so hello, Miss Mozilla. Seeing some of my Zoom friends online. Okay, so let's get started with these. Let me switch cameras here, make sure that this camera stays on, and then that this camera will also stay on. Okay, so we got two packages here. Let's start with the bigger one. And again, thank you to Diane and Samantha at the US Postal Service because they went the extra mile in trying to track these two packages down for me. And there was some kind of a mix-up on their part, so they kind of apologized that they didn't hand it to me. Okay. So, looks like we got some blocks made. And we have a roll. Maybe a fat 8 roll. Let's see. Let's take a look at this first, because I would be darn curious what's in here. Is this a... No. So it's a 5-inch roll. Ooh, of all these various colors of yellow. And maybe some scrap pieces here and there. Ooh, I like that. Oh, look at the cute bees. And okay, I know we've seen this fabric somewhere. This is original. We have not, I don't think we've seen this one. So this looks like it was a curated bundle. And we got this yellow, in which, so what I've been kind of doing is actually separating lights, mediums, and darks, kind of just in a general sense, because with a lot of these, or especially with the purple fabrics, um, I'm gonna try and do some kind of an ombre effect here. And then with these yellow fabrics, when I make the sunflower, I'm gonna try and color match, or at least try and match the shade, whether it's a dark or if it's a mixed color. Like this will probably go in the mixed colored pile. These will probably go more in toward like a yellowish, yellow orangish kind of, or darker shade. So I've been just trying to separate the fabrics out. And the ones that read a little bit more brownish, orangish, are probably used for the centers of the Dresdens, or the flowers, the sunflowers. So yes. But this is a very good mix of yellows. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, we're gonna just try and mix up and make it as scrappy as I can. These look like just 3-inch squares. So we'll see what we can do with these. Maybe I'll just have to make half square triangle units out of them, or I can sew it together just to make a 4-patch unit. Here's a mixed colored one. A lot of different variety of prints, textures, even the different shades of purple, and even with the yellows. So there's a good variety that we've been getting, or that all of you have been sending in, I should say. And this will be very interesting to put it all and pull it all together. Okay, that's there. And we got one more of these. Ooh, isn't that pretty? And then we got more of that. So I'll put that there. So I can sort through all of these better later and take my time looking at it. But I just want to at least show you the different prints, because that's what people are really interested in. There's this, and then there's more repeats of these, and then another repeat of this. Those are all the same. More of these. So I can definitely take these squares and just either make a half square triangle out of it, or some kind of hourglass unit maybe, or just make a 4-patch and trim it down. We'll see. We shall see with these, but definitely at least want to use a few of these. I know we saw that somewhere. Okay, and the rest are all repeats, so there's those. And then let me put these yellows aside for a minute. And we actually have blocks here. So that's a block. Here's a 4-patch that's already made. A few of them. So I will be taking these and trimming them down. And we got, are these all the same? Yep. These are all the same 4 patches here. And we got a lighter 4-patch. And ooh, look at that. There's all of those. I'm liking this particular fabric, and in combination with that too, but I like that combination. So those, and then looks like we got some square and a square blocks. And so I can definitely use these and just making sure that we'll get it to the right size. And we got this one. I think I did this block. Well, I know I did it. Just not in that color combination, but okay. And hang on a second. We still got one more bag. Let me kind of clear it up here. And some more blocks. So we got a stripe here, some stripes. And oh, look at that pinwheel. Got some pinwheels. Another one. Okay, and then we got another one of these other blocks. Where did the other one go? Oh well, I'll find it in that pile. Got that. And I like the use of the lights in combination with the dark, or you got prints with the lighter fabric. So okay, so there's all of these. And then there's those, and then the pinwheels. And where did that other block go? The square and the squares for patch unit. There it is. So I'll put that one with this. Put these together. I'm kind of curious if these were extras left over from another project. Or did you actually make these? In any case, it's much appreciated. So thank you very much. So there were all of these purples and all of these yellows that came in from the same person. So you know who you are. Thank you. Let's see. Let me kind of go back and read some of the comments there because I know I saw the screen jumping up and down. So I know people are saying stuff. So if I missed a question, please just put it in the chat again. Just kind of catching up. We had, let's see, Carissa says, we had super cold last night. Today was warm enough to melt half the snow. Gonna be frigid this weekend, so the ice will be loads of fun. Oh, just don't eat the ice. Mozilla says, big fluffy snowflakes 1 inch in diameter here today. Wow. 1 inch in diameter? Holy cow, that's pretty big for a snowflake. So is cinnamon. You know, I thought about putting cinnamon with the ginger. Maybe I should do that tonight. I'll try it. Suzanne Taylor says, oh, really? I will have to try that, Eric. Yep, give it a try. Hello, Miss Jackie. And Carissa says she is working on her Tula Nova quilt, but going to turn it into the Supernova. Okay. Hello, Miss Mary. You're not late. You're here. You're early for next week. Hello, Miss Margaret Hassler. Okay. Oh man, we made potato soup tonight and I ate 2 bowls. Wow, Mary. That must have been some good potato soup. People are saying beautiful purples. Yes, yes, these are very beautiful. Well, all the fabrics are beautiful. So, and Joanne Reed says she loves the purples. They're also different. Hello, Crystal. All right, so looks like Crystal says it's 8 degrees here tonight. Wow. Hi, Joyce from Washington, D.C. Okay, so this was the first package. You know who you are, so thank you very much. And the package has been received. Thanks again to our friends at the U.S. Postal Service who went above and beyond the call. Okay. I will go through all of these. I'm going to actually put this. Where did my charcuterie board go? Here. Whoops. So I will put this with this stack. See? Charcuterie board of fabric. That was the thing I started doing with the Tula Pink quilt. And these will go in with the yellows. Okay, second package for tonight. And I did kind of pull it out. Oh. And I did not see the card. Hey! Would you guys believe that this is my first Christmas card this year? So thank you. Ooh, nice and green too. Let's see, is this a little too... Okay, now it's not too personal. So the inscription says, "Here's to peace at Christmas, joy as a brand new year begins, and happiness always." And the message says, "Dearest Eric, blessings and much love for a wonderful Christmas and Happy New Year. Love, love, love your..." Can't see, or vlogs. Okay, keep them up. They are great and down to earth, I guess is what it says. So thank you. And I'm glad that both of these ladies are actually here tonight. So we did receive it. Both of these packages were kind of lost in the shuffle of a lot of the chaos that was going on at the U.S. Postal Service. But again, thanks to the 2 women, Samantha and Diane, who kind of went package by package looking for these 2 things. And it took them a day or maybe a day and a half, but they eventually did find it. So... okay, so this looks to be a fat quarter. Okay, let's see. This is an interesting fabric because it's a little bit of blue, a little bit of purple, and a little bit of pink. So this will be an interesting one to use, and it feels like a batik. And we got purple here. Then we got little strips. So I probably will be sewing these together to make some kind of strip unit. Hello, Maria. And we got a fat quarter here. So I'll just open this one up. And it's a honeycomb print too. Huh, interesting. Okay, so and let's see what's okay. This is like a goldish yellow. I like that. Similar shade, but not exactly the same. And then we have these yellows here, which might actually be the same fabric, just kind of an ombre effect. And then of course we got that. Okay, I didn't open this, but let's open this one. And we'll take the cardboard out from here. This will be an interesting fabric to use. May not make it into Mom's quilt, but it will definitely get used. Okay, so the yellows, I can start trimming and cutting the Dresden blades, and that's what I'll be doing with these. These are really bright. Wow. I like that. Okay, so thank you very, very much. You know who you are. And the card will be going in with the scrapbook that I just kind of voluntarily made because I know Mom's going to want to read each one of these, even the Post-its. So, okay, so that is the final two packages that I will be doing. If you did send something, it might make it into the quilt. It might not. It's just a matter of now. I just kind of have to see how everything plays out. But if you did send it prior to December, me receiving it today, I'll definitely be using at least a few fabrics. I'm gonna try and use up as much as I can because, well, there's a lot. Just understand that. So I'll be using whatever I can to put this quilt together. And again, I didn't make much progress on it last night because, well, quite frankly, I just kind of fell asleep and had a very long rest. Got home at about 6 o'clock, started working yesterday at 5 in the morning, got home at 6, and by then I was just exhausted, so I kind of fell asleep. Was planning to put together more of these purple background fabrics together, but yeah, I was just tired after yesterday, so let's see. Okay, let me backtrack a little bit here. Eric, what are you going to be making with the purple and yellow? It's a quilt for my mother. There was a whole video that kind of explained the project. It was what is it? What did I call it? A special request. So that's why people were kind of sending in purple and yellow fabrics to donate towards this quilt. Um, well, thank you, Carissa. You just basically answered the question for Crystal. So, oh, it's going to be beautiful. Well, fingers crossed that that it'll work. All right, who booted me out? Oh, sorry. Wasn't me. Is it batik? I believe if you're, well, I don't know which fabric you're talking about, but this orange is not a batik, although it kind of looks like it's a printed batik. It feels like kind of a cotton. It's either 100% cotton or it might be a cotton poly blend, but you can definitely see the grain lines in it, so it's definitely not a batik. That's going to be a mammoth quilt. Well, Mary, I'm trying not to make it such a large quilt because I do have to be cognizant of how heavy the quilt is, because from what my brothers have told me, Mom lost a lot of weight. And so her having something very heavy on top of her, it um, might not be very comfortable. So I do have to be aware of the size that I make this quilt, as well as the kinds of materials that are going in. So one of the suggestions, in fact, somebody emailed me, one of you emailed me about that, and they were kind of giving me the warning that making a quilt that's too heavy might not be good for Mom. And so they made the suggestion of, instead of putting batting, just do the quilt top, do a flannel back, and that's it. Because it'll just add, putting in a batting will just kind of more or less add more weight to it. So, but they were kind of giving me the heads up to not make it so heavy because it is going to be uncomfortable. And so I was kind of aware of that beforehand, but now that we're starting to put the quilt together, I kind of have to be a lot more cognizant of it too. So I'm trying to keep it to maybe a large throw size at largest, which is why I'm trying to think of other things to do tangent to this. So of course, the carrying bag for it. If I can do maybe just do 2 versions of the quilt. Yeah, that'll be asking for a lot, but carrying bag, or let's see, what else have I thought of? Pillowcases, maybe. But then again, having a pillowcase with a lot of seams in it might not be the most comfortable thing to be sleeping on. So I just gave that a thought. Mom, well, originally when I told Mom about this project, she thinks that I'm just like putting it all together. She doesn't actually realize that it's people, all of you basically, that are donating all of the fabrics and the materials for it. So that, in that sense, it'll still be a shock or a surprise for her, and it'll be a pleasant surprise for her. Then again, she doesn't even know I run a YouTube channel, so heaven forbid if she ever figures out how to run YouTube, because oh boy, if she does, we're in trouble. Yeah, she's not the most technically advanced or technology prone person. I mean, she can do things, but oh my gosh, she will run me and my brothers crazy just trying to get her to understand what to do. Yep. If you know the story of or if you've ever heard me tell the story of the paperclip, that'll give you an indication. Okay, so right now I'm just trimming down these blocks to 4 inches. That was the size that I ended up kind of choosing with all of it. I used lightweight flannel on the last quilt I made for my mom before she passed away. That's Jackie. And she substituted that for the batting. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking of doing. I don't want to have, or just kind of using like a flannel back. But even flannel is kind of heavy too, so I don't know. I might use the flannel as a batting instead, and then just do a regular cotton backing. Or I was kind of thinking of just doing a really light wool type of batting where it's light and fluffy. So yeah, those are considerations that I have to do. Okay, these are kind of light. So I'll put these with the light pile. This is a little darker, so I'm going to put this with the dark pile. Hello, Remo J. A low lofty poly would be good. You know, I'll be honest, I've never used a poly batting. Does it actually lose, or does it get flat in the dryer? Because that's what I would be afraid of. Like, I've made the mistake of ironing with a poly batting, and yeah, that was not pretty. So if anybody has used like a polyester batting, and I'm not talking like the 80-20, I'm just talking like a real polyester batting, maybe not 100%, but I'm kind of curious how it reacts if you put it through the wash and you put it through especially if you put it in the dryer. Because again, my past experience with it has been that if you put any kind of heat on it, it's just going to flatten it and melt it. Hi, Cherry. Cherry from Wyoming is here. You could do a burrito pillowcase. That would have wouldn't have many seams in it. If I were to, well, I could. But I'm just laughing at the name burrito pillowcase, because if I were to tell my mother, yeah, it's a burrito pillowcase, she'd be like, what the heck is that? And why is it called a burrito? Actually, my mom doesn't really know what a burrito is, so instead she calls it Mexican sushi. If you think about it, it kind of is Mexican sushi. I mean, it's rolled up, it's stuffed with beans and rice and other fillings. Yeah, that's just how my mom's thought process is. No, not at all, Eric. It stays nice and light and fluffy. Oh, okay. I always was afraid of using polyester batting because of that. But Oh, we shall give it a try one day. Maybe not so much. I don't know if I want to risk it on this quilt, but um, that will be something to investigate in the future. Okay. Okay, Yvonne says the iron definitely melts it, but the dryer wouldn't. Okay. I had a hunch that it might do it, but maybe the dryer just doesn't get hot enough to do that. So, plus you're also pressing with an iron, which would make sense. Okay. So, hello, Miss Vivian. That's the perfect name for it, isn't it? Now that I think about it, it is the perfect name for it. Here out here in the West Coast, there is it's like a food fad type of thing where there are some food trucks. Not small. I think there's like one or two here in Vegas, but definitely a ton of restaurants and um, food trucks out in Los Angeles that they caught or they kind of created something called the sushi burrito, in which it's it's this long sushi roll. Um, it's kind of like just a log of rice and filling, and it's huge too. You gotta eat it with two hands, kind of like a burrito. So so it's not that far off, or my mom's actually not that far off calling it a Mexican sushi. Okay, let's get to 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I will be using these. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I have a 10-year-old quilt with poly. Depends on how much quilting you do if it flattens. Don't make it bulletproof and it should be fine. Okay. Okay. I do tend to quilt things to death though. So um maybe that'll be give me more incentive not to do it so densely. But yeah, give me some negative space on a quilt and yeah, watch me go to town on the long arm. Okay, so again, I'm just trimming these blocks to 4 inches here. Jackie says, my design wall is being installed tomorrow. Free labor. My son is doing it. That's the best kind. Remo says poly catches on fire, melts the skin. Hospitals and foster care prefer 100% cotton. Ashes cotton. Okay. Ooh, that's that. Well, thank you for that, Remo. That actually, yeah, I didn't even consider that, because if she does take it into the hospital during treatment, then that might be a problem. So thank you for that. I know certain hospitals, and this was a weird one. You cannot bring in those, what is it, the mylar balloons, the metallic balloons that you can, um, for actually a reason that people don't realize. It's magnetic, and so a lot of the equipment in hospitals run on electronic magnets, and so it actually becomes a safety hazard, which I did not know. And I found out that because we were taking a balloon to the hospital, and the florist gave us that warning that hospitals don't like that kind of balloon. They don't allow for those types of balloons in their hospital. So, one of those weird things that you learn after the fact. Okay, I think the spring is coming loose on the... Okay, so we got the 4 patches. I'll put these on the... Haha. So we'll put this with the 4 patch stack on my charcuterie board. Okay, then I can also trim some of these down. Let's see. Yeah, we'll take the... And I did not realize the spring came off on the rotary cutter. I was wondering why this... Oh, okay. Time for a new rotary cutter. Oh, well. We'll put this one away. We'll get the Quilter Select. It's a lot of work, but you could make another quote for a friend, favorite nurse, or donation to the treatment center. I could, but let me get through Mom's quote first. But then this is such an odd combination of colors that I don't know if anyone else would fully appreciate it, or I would have to explain the story behind it too. But we shall see. Okay, I lost where the center seam is. There. I think it's there. Close enough. Okay, and I think I need to sharpen this blade because it's nicked somewhere. I would much prefer cotton, but it is what it is. Yeah. I use poly batting almost exclusively because the cotton batting is too heavy in my washer and won't spin fast enough no matter how much I try to balance it. Yeah, I notice with a lot of cotton, especially if I use a really thick 100% cotton, the quilt is really heavy, and um, I have to use like one of those industrial washers and dryers, like at the laundromat, and just to get it to uh, handle the weight of the quilt. So I'm just trimming these blocks down. Um, I like to wash and line dry my quilts in the spring. The poly batting ones definitely dry faster. Kim Burr says, when I had surgery 3 years ago, the hospital didn't allow balloons, period. Myler, for reasons stated, latex due to so many with latex allergies. Oh, then how do they get around with the gloves? Huh, that would be interesting. Nancy says, tonight is the full moon. I wonder if my granddaughter is going to make her arrival tonight. Ooh. Well, keep us posted, Nancy. Those quilter selects are very heavy. I have weak wrists. I like it because, well, I do like it because of the weight of it, and I find it easier to cut with. Yeah, the Martelli cutters, they're great because of the ergonomics of it, and it's less stress on your wrist. But yeah, I can definitely see if you don't have a strong wrist, this can definitely be very uncomfortable to use. But at the same time, I do find myself not, like the tension in my wrist is a little bit less because I'm not pressing down as hard. And so in that respect, I do like the Quilter Select because the weight of this rotary cutter does help me. That was always a problem with this style of rotary cutter, especially with like the OFA or the plastic ones. I always found myself kind of like really forcing or putting some pressure down, which was not good for my wrist. But with these, it kind of just glides right through the fabric. And the weight of these rotary cutters just kind of helps with that. But again, if you do have wrist problems or if you do have a lot of joint or weak wrists, then rotary cutter like this probably would not work for you. Yeah, so I can definitely understand your point there. Purple and yellow have gone together for years. Well, admittedly, some people have said that this is not their most favorite combination, although theoretically, I mean, if you know color theory, yeah, purple and yellow should go together. But it's not a common color combination. Although you do see it with sports teams like the Lakers. I don't know if there's a football team. A lot of schools are purple and gold. So, but a lot of people, especially a lot of females that I've asked, what are their favorite color combinations? They always say purple and pink, purple and red, or red and orange. Sometimes green, but purple and yellow or purple and gold, not always everyone's favorite. To be quite honest, if it wasn't for this quilt, I probably wouldn't use this combination either, but it was for Mom, so can't complain. Okay, right there. Yeah, even when I was telling some of my non-quilting friends what I was give about this quilt, some of them gave me that look like purple and yellow. Really? But according to science, yep, these two colors are supposed to complement each other. So, okay, so let's see. Thank you, Kim. I was just about to activate our hot topic for tonight. So, question is, what are some of your goals, quilting, crafting related, or personal goals, or for 2026? Or have you even given much thought of that? I know it's still kind of early because we're still in 2025, and there's still a few things or a few goals for 2025 that I haven't accomplished, in which I'm trying to make a mad dash to get them done. But I am starting to think about 2026. Like, what do I want to accomplish both quilting wise? What do I want to accomplish professionally? I'll tell you this. One of my goals are I actually started planning out some like video series for this channel for 2026. And some of them I actually started filming them, in which I will share that when the time comes. Let's see, what can I share? One thing I would like to do is to make more edited videos. So I was, and I was going to explain this in a future video too, but I was looking at the analytics, which is basically the set of data that YouTube collects for its creators so that it knows, or you can kind of judge how your channel is doing. And comparatively speaking, I know that a lot of people like to come on the lives because you can chat with each other and you can chat with whoever the creator is. But comparatively speaking, the live videos don't do as well as some of the prepared or the edited videos. And so I would like to do more of the edited style of videos, and then we'll have to kind of see or think about how to make the lives a little bit more effective. I don't know if that's the word, but basically, I was, again, the data tells me that not very many people will watch the live, especially if they don't catch the actual live, like the replays. And this happens with everybody, actually, not just with this channel, but I was even talking to some of the other creators, and they noticed that comparatively speaking, we don't get much. I mean, once the live is up, it doesn't get many views. And as opposed to like in a real edited video, those gets hundreds upon thousands of views, or at least with the people that I spoke with. So yeah, I was just kind of thinking about how to do a balance between the two. So that does mean, though, that 2026, and I'm still kind of toying around with the idea of how to actually do this, but I am gonna do more prepared type of video style content, or at least attempt to. And then I don't know, I'm on the fence with the lives. I know you guys enjoy it because you guys show up. You continue to show up, and so that's why I'm not saying that I'm gonna totally get rid of the lives, but I am gonna do a few, but maybe not every single week, maybe every other week or so. So I'll just have to kind of make a decision on that. For me professionally, I would like to actually move the company that I'm working with. I would like to kind of get them to advance a little bit more in how they do their record keeping. They've come a long way, I'll say that, but now I think they're seeing the consequences of all the errors that they've made in the past. And so I'm going to try and capitalize on that and start implementing some procedures with it, because now the owners of the company are kind of realizing that all of the shortcuts that they took might not have been in their best interest in the long run. And what I mean by stuff like that is, if you work in the finance field, or if you've done accounting work, you know that having proper documentation is kind of one of the keys, or something that's very important. So things like saving your receipts, or getting the proper approvals. When you're a small business and when you're the owner of that small business, a lot of those rules get overlooked. And so you hire an accountant and just tell them, oh, just take care of it. Well, sometimes the accountants can't, because they don't know what you're spending on. And then you raise a question about it. It's like, it's kind of I don't want to say catch-22, but you ask a question to the owner about it, and then the response is, well, I'm not the accountant, so I don't know what it is. You're supposed to know that. So that's kind of what I've been dealing with. And so when they leave it up to my decision, I might treat some payment in a way that they might not envision, and then all of a sudden they start scolding me for mishandling it. And then I have to remind them that, hey, I've been asking you guys for this, and you don't give me the proper documentation on what I need, so this is how I handle it. And so now it's kind of biting them back on that. So sorry. Yeah, they're finally realizing that they cannot be so blasé, nonchalant about some of those things. So yeah. Mary says lots of florists use purple and yellow. Yeah, they do. They do, but I guess people just don't realize the color combination works. Okay. Flowers do come in purple, and yellowish gold. I see nothing wrong with it. Well, again, it's not that I'm saying there was something wrong with it. It's just people don't realize how they see the combination. Because again, it does exist, yes, but for a lot of people that I've spoken to about this quote, they just didn't realize the combination works. So, let's see. Mozilla says, "Oh, hello, Miss Rhonda Barlow." Mozilla says, "I'd like to accomplish a collage portrait of my eldest son in 2026. I did one of my youngest boy already and gifted it to a friend." Gifted a friend a collage portrait of her daughter who passed away this past March. Yeah, if you do it for one son, you know you got to do it for all of them, right? Because they all get jealous. Carissa says, finished my UFOs and figured out how to get all my quilt tops quilted. Chris Montour, hello. She says, I started watching YouTube for instructional videos. Okay. I think I should head back to doing some of those. And now this one goes out, of course. So you can do your edited videos as Premiere so everyone can chat as they watch with you. I could. I don't know how successful that is, though. But then again, it would be kind of at an odd hour. Hi, Jim. In 2020, Yvonne says, in 2026, I want to finish some UFOs and make some quilts just for me. 2025 has been all about quilts for the 8 kids and teens in my family. Well, you got to make some for you. Don't forget about you, Yvonne. So I can definitely understand that. Yeah, when I first started quilting, it was all about gifts for other people. But now it's all about gifts for me or quilts for me. So eventually I just ran out of people to give quilts to, because heaven knows I did not have the storage space at the time to hold all of those quilts. So just made quilts for others, gave them as Christmas gifts, as birthday gifts. If they were expecting baby quilts or a larger size baby quilt. Actually, it was a king size quilt that I just gave as a baby quilt. So, yeah. Let's see. Made by Misty says, "Wait, do you work at my company?" Maybe I do, Misty. Suzanne Taylor says, "LOL," and then year end comes and they can't believe the numbers. Yeah, exactly. Yvonne says, "As a retired accountant, that's unfortunately the norm." Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're the accountant, you're the expert, you're supposed to know. And I'm like, how am I supposed to know what you withdrew this money for when you don't give me a receipt? I don't know, but you're the accountant. So what do? I charge it off as an owner's distribution. And oh boy, they did not like that. But it's like, what choice do I have? You're supposed to expense that. That was for the purchase of this. And I'm like, well, you have a receipt? Yeah, I know. It's a nasty cycle. Yeah, unfortunately, it is the norm with a lot of people. And the excuse always is, I'm too busy, or I don't know, I'm not the accountant. Yeah, what would be the quilting equivalent of that be? Oh, I know. You ever been in a situation where someone asks you to make a quilt and then you go shopping, fabric shopping with them, and you just tell them, okay, just pick out fabrics that you like. And then they're like, I don't know what I like. I'm not the quilter. I don't know what's going to look good. I've had to deal with that too. Same situation, just within accounting. Kimber says, I'm finding, especially lately, that if I plan much, God laughs and changes things. Well, what's the old saying? If you don't plan, or if you don't plan, you plan to fail. But then again, if you plan too much, you fail anyway. Yeah, but I do like to set goals for myself every year. Um, and I actually do write them down and then do progress reports throughout the year just to see, just so I can remind myself and then measure my success or failure in that respect. So this year I actually had a whole binder and I was actually writing a journal, or kept it like a journal, and would just kind of write updates about progress on certain things. And although I didn't get a lot done, the stuff that I did get done, I'm actually very proud of. And hopefully in 2026, it'll all pay off. So, collage quilt is also on my list. This is Carissa. Want to do one of my oldest son and daughter-in-law, one of their wedding photos. Ooh. Well, then, Mozilla, maybe you can teach her. Oh, teach me too. Yeah. That was one of the things I wanted to learn. Just not right now, but I would like to learn how to do a collage quilt. I actually bought a book by Sue Carlson. What is it called? Serendipity Quilts, in which I kind of read the book, but I kind of feel like this is one of those techniques where you actually do need to have like a live class or in-person class to go along with it. Donna says, same here, Kim. I'm supposed to be retired. Haha, family keeps me busy. Okay, it seems like, as I said in the video, yeah, I did ask people to make blocks that are 4.5, and it would seem like I'm doing a lot of extra work, but in the long run, this will all pay off because, again, with some of these being a little bit over 4.5 and a little under 4.5, it helps out when you can square it down to an exact size or a much more consistent size. So it might seem like I'm spending a lot of time squaring up a bunch of blocks, but in the long run, based upon my own personal experience, this is actually going to help out. Okay, with the pinwheels, I'm going to spin those seams in the back, so I'm going to deal with those a little later. Let's start with these. Eric, I haven't kept up. Did you get all the yellow fabric you need? Rhonda, there's more than enough. Yeah, there's way more than enough yellow fabrics. So let me give you an idea here, if I can pull this off. This is only part of it. So we have this stack of fabrics that came in. We have this. We have all of these, which just came in, which was these. And I got yards of all of these fabrics, plus these fabrics, plus these fabrics, and this stack here. So, and this is not even all of it. There's actually more fabrics that I kind of stashed away in a container for now, just to kind of clear it so I could have a little bit more space. And I'll have to pull those out as well. So I got more than enough fabric to make the Dresdens with. Don't forget, next year is the USA's 250th birthday. We've been doing an Independence Block of the Month at Quilt Guild. Ends in May, so we can have our tops assembled by July. That is correct. I forgot that it is the 250th anniversary. I wonder if Vegas is going to do something special. I'm not sure every state will actually do something special. Like, I know Hawaii probably wouldn't. Or they might. I don't know. They might surprise me. And I say that because in Hawaii, there's a big, active Native Hawaiian community that is rather upset about how Hawaii became a state. Or this, if you know the history, you kind of understand. You'll kind of understand why they wouldn't be celebrating the 250th anniversary. Ask a quilter and you shall receive. Yes, Christy. Okay. Whoa, we've been on for an hour and a half. So let me just do a few more of these blocks and we will call it a live. So I would like to say thank you to everybody that have donated fabrics or sent in fabrics, as well as all of the kind cards and messages towards this whole project. Now it's my turn to actually get moving and start putting this quilt together. And so that's what I shall be focusing in on this weekend, as well as in the coming weeks here. Just a reminder for those that that there is no Zoom tomorrow, because I do have a work function to be at in which I get to I get to present my accounting findings to everybody and then scold everybody and then have everybody scold me back. No, it's not going to be that bad. It's just it's just kind of making a report about the status of the company. So yeah. Now I think people are starting to get on board as to the recommendations that I'm trying to implement, or the procedural changes, I should say, that I'm trying to implement. And now that they're seeing the financial effects of all of that, they might be a little bit more open to it. So time for me to capitalize on that. Yeah. So again, Zoom is postponed till next Saturday, which I believe is the 13th. It'll be at our same usual time, starting at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. If you guys want in on it, well, just send me an email. I'll get you the meeting information. And, you know, we always have fun talking on Zoom, and it's always an interesting discussion. So certain things I can talk about on a live, certain things I can't mention because they were very, let's just, not naughty. It's stuff that I wouldn't normally bring up on a live session anyway. And we have, you know, we're all adults, so we kind of make adult jokes about things sometimes too. Then as far as the live schedules go, it'll still be on Wednesday night up until the 17th. That'll be the final scheduled live. And then I may do some kind of impromptu, because I'll be sewing and putting together this quilt. So I may do something last minute on like a weekend, a Saturday night or so, or maybe even a Friday night, just like tonight. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. I will be sure to put notifications on this YouTube channel, as well as within the Facebook group, if I'm postponing something, or if I'm canceling out, or if I'm gonna go live or planning to go live. I'll put notifications on the on this YouTube channel, as well as within the Facebook group about that. Yeah, because you never know what can happen at the last minute, even though I don't like that. You know, you would think that I'm a planner. I'm really not, though. Because every time I do plan on something, it never goes exactly to plan. But yeah, you learn to be flexible with stuff, right? So have you thought about, oh, sorry. Hang on a second. I do feel a sneeze coming on. Oh, here it comes. Okay. Sorry about that. I didn't want to blow out your eardrums with me sneezing. So, Rhonda Barlow asks, have you thought about editing your old lives into videos? I think the series you do on the different blocks would do well. I have thought about that, or at least maybe taking a block that I've done on a live and then just doing like an edited video. So yeah, I have thought about that, Rhonda. Hard part is that if I do take like an edited video, I have to first download it and then edit that, which takes time. And I have to do that because if I start editing the actual live video without downloading it and putting it in some kind of video editor, the chat also gets cut out. So if I were to like cut out a good chunk of maybe 5 or 10 minutes or so, the chat messages also get cut out from that. So that's one of the big reasons why I didn't do that. But now that YouTube at the time, you didn't have a way of downloading the video. Now you can do that. So I might look into doing that again. You know, people, some people actually wanted like a whole video series of just the farmer's wife quilt. And that's where that discussion or that thought came into my mind. Yeah, but with that particular quote, there's another factor in that I can't give measurements away. So, yeah, but we will look into that though. Thank you for that. May your presentation go well. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm actually the first in line to present, so I'll be in there and then I'll be out. And then we have another late night function with the rest of the company. So tomorrow's just a manager's meeting, but we have another bigger meeting with all the employees. So let's see. Chris Montour says, in 2026, I would like to do the butterfly quilt that you just completed. Chris, go for it. Okay, and post pictures so we can cheer you on. Carissa says, just wish my family would think the only way to solve that issue is to buy me a long arm. Okay, well, that's one way to solve it. Oh, thank you guys. Everybody's saying bless you. Hey, Sin Forest. Let me back up, say, hi, Eric and friends. That quilt is coming along beautifully. 18 degrees Fahrenheit here in central New York. That's Michelle the quilter. Hello, hello. Please stay warm. Overachiever award goes to Carissa. Okay. Did you finish the farmer's wife quilt? Well, I finished the quilt top. It's in my stack of quilt tops that are waiting to be quilted. So it is done. Did I ever post a picture? Maybe I did, but I'll have to look for it. But I know I did put it on Instagram. I don't know if I put it on the Facebook group, but we'll see. If it might be old, or it's definitely a couple of months old, but yeah. Donna Hoskins says, Eric, you can still see the live chat on replay. It's gone on the replay on this side. You can actually still see it if I remember to put a check mark in the box. And that's what I've been kind of forgetting to do. You should see it on the replay, but yeah, you kind of have to wait for YouTube to do its thing because it does check for what people are saying on the replay. And so, like the video from last Wednesday, I know the replay chat is not available just yet. In fact, just this morning, YouTube did its normal scan of just the video part. And then it tried to insert, how much did I count? It tried to insert 37 time slots for commercials. So every 2 minutes, basically, you would have gotten another set of commercials in which, because I didn't make it available, or I kind of held YouTube and waited for YouTube to do their thing, I took all of those commercial time slots out. So yeah. I never got to see the chat on replay either. Used to, but no more. That's interesting. Because I just watched, who was it? Becca? That was on earlier tonight. And on my end, I did see the chat. So maybe it might just be if you're on your computer or whatnot. Okay. Mozilla, yes, I know definitely the butterfly quote has been posted on to the Facebook group, both in the Treasure Heart Creations Facebook group as well as Tiffany's Quilting Life's Facebook group. So I know that one is definitely on there. I believe the Farmer's Wife is on. I just don't know, or I can't say positively. I do know it's on Instagram though, because I can see it on my Instagram feed. So, yeah, well, let me see if I can find it actually. Oh, no, I can't do it when I'm on live. Darn. All right, guys. It is now 8:30 my time, so that means we've been on for over an hour and a half. I am going to continue squaring up these or trimming down these blocks to the size that I need it to be. And hopefully by next Wednesday, you'll see a lot more progress on the quilt behind me, but you can kind of see what the idea of the quilt will be. So yeah, kind of laying it out and then trying to see how I want to do these purple blocks, especially because a lot of them are pinwheels, and these pinwheels tend to stand out because they're a different shape. So I didn't consider that, but we'll see how all of this plays out. So good night, everyone. And I will see you next Wednesday when we do our regular live session. And again, for those of you that are part of the normal Zoom, it's not tomorrow, it's next Saturday. All right. Please, please, everybody take care of your health. Please stay warm out there because I know some of you got some really freezing temperatures, even though 50 degrees for me here in Vegas is freezing. Relatively speaking, yes, I know for some of you that's a balmy Sunday. Yeah, rub it in. Good night to all of you. Have a great rest of your week. And until next Wednesday, let's all get out there. Let's all create something. Bye for now.